What's up, vapors? Thanks for checking out Daily Vape TV. My name is Nick, and it's Fresh Build Friday. That's right, it's that time of the week once again, where we get you ready for the weekend with a brand new coil build. So this one goes out once again to Ender's Other Game. Big shout out to you, buddy. He was the one that is staying on my case about doing these coil builds and making sure my skills are honed. And if you guys want to become a patron and suggest a build for Fresh Build Friday, then all you have to do is follow the link right down there in the description below. But without any further ado, let's go ahead and dive down to the close-up view and build it up. All right, guys, so here we have our setup for today's video, and let's just get right into it. So first of all, today we're going to be using some 27 gauge Nichrome 80 from Twisted Messes and some 34 gauge Nichrome 80 from Twisted Messes. Just to let you guys know, I do have a coupon code with twistedmesses.com, and I do have to give him a massive shout out and thank you for sponsoring Fresh Build Friday. Without him, I would not be doing this right now. So please, you guys, if you want to get some wire, go check out twistedmesses.com and use the coupon code FRESHBUILDFRIDAY, and I believe that gets you 15% off wire. So yeah, use that at checkout. Let's go ahead and get started with this one here. First thing we're going to do is cut about 3 1-foot sections of this 27 gauge because we're going to do a tri-core today. So about 1 loop around usually is about 1 foot, so it doesn't really matter all that much. You don't have to be perfectly accurate with your measurements. Now what we're going to do, after we secure this wire back, we are going to straighten the wire. So you're going to just take it. You guys have probably straightened thousands of feet of wire before, as I have. So if you haven't, just take this wire, give it a little bend, 90 degrees, as I usually do, to help the tension in the chuck of the drill. Screw it down into place. Then get your pliers out and hold on to the other end and just spin it until it breaks. If you did everything right, it should snap off right at the chuck of the drill and you have a nice straight piece of wire. If it breaks in the middle, it's no big deal. Just get another piece of wire and try again. So now we have our 3 straightened pieces of wire. I'm just going to take this longer one here and put it off to the side because that is going to be our middle wire. These 2 are the ones we're going to be staggering. So let's get started with that. First step is just do your 90-degree bend once again. Boop, just like that. And put it in the chuck of the drill. Try to get it as centered as possible. Crank it down tight. Now we're going to start with our 34 gauge. Basically all you're going to do here, actually before we do that, we're going to set it into the spinner side. So just kind of loop it around. Let's just go ahead and get this Clapton started. I just slipped it right in between the teeth or the jaws of the chuck, and we're just going to give it a couple wraps around our little 90-degree bend piece. Snip off any extra, and we're going to do a couple quick Clapton wraps. Doesn't have to be a perfect Clapton whatsoever, basically just to get it started here, because we're going to have to take it out of the chuck of the drill once again. And we have a little loop. So I made this loop earlier. It's from about, I'd say, 8 inches of wire or so of the 34 gauge that we're going to be using. And I just twisted the ends real tight there. Hopefully you guys can see that. I know it's small gauge wire. But yeah, I just twisted that stuff up just to make a little loop real quick. So that's what we're going to be using, oop, careful, to space out our wire. So basically you just take it out of the chuck of the drill, drop your loop over the top, and then reinsert into your drill. So yeah, this is kind of like the most painstaking process. After this, it gets a little bit more intricate. We're just going to tighten that back down once again. And since we're trying out a different method this time, we're going to be using a weight. Instead of holding all the wire in one hand, we're going to be using a weight, and I'm going to be using my keys. So I'm actually going to put my keys on this loop here, and we're going to set the loop in place. Just like that. If all is right in the universe, I will get this first try, no problem. So I've been doing this a very long time and I still struggle with it. However, I've been practicing today, so I have a lot of confidence right now. I feel like I'm going to get this no problem here. And let's just go ahead and start off real slow. You don't have to rush this process whatsoever because it is very delicate. And I'll try to get some in a little bit of a closer up view for you guys so you can see the process. Alright guys, so here we have our 2 pieces of staggered wire and we're almost done. But wait, there's more. Remember that 1 piece of plain wire that we cut off earlier? Yeah, it's time to throw that one into the mix. So what we're going to be doing here is basically just placing this single wire in between these 2 pieces of wire like so, and putting them in the chuck of the drill. And I'm just going to back out the camera and show you guys what I'm talking about. So we're going to line up all of this wire in the order that we want it to stay in here. So this middle piece has got to go in between these 2, and I'm just going to trim off some of the excess junk wire here at the top because this is no longer needed and it's just getting in the way. So that one is good, and this one will be good, just like that. So we're going to take our bent ends and put them all together and line these up properly. And then it's time to put it in the chuck of the drill. Very, very carefully. You don't want this moving around too much. So basically just open the chuck a little bit. Try to get them right before you tighten it all the way down. Like that. Now you crank it down. So you want to just hold it in place all the way down the strand. So just make sure this middle piece stays in the middle, in between these 2. And you're going to have to force it. I hate to say this, but you're going to have to force it into submission because it doesn't want to stay. So just line everything up all the way to the end. We're going to clip some of this excess wire off here as well. Boop. And just keep kind of running your fingers down the wire, because just don't put any pressure on it while you do that. But yeah, you got to make sure that center wire stays in the center all the way at the spinner end here. I'm sure there's a better process for this, but you know what? I don't know it yet. As I say every time with Fresh Build Friday, it's kind of a learning curve. It's a process, you know? You have to go through stages of building, and obviously I am still learning. Unfortunately, I don't think I can really commentate or do anything while I'm doing this process because it just sucks. So I'm going to start off with a few manual wraps down at our junk end in the chuck of the drill here. This is all going to get cut off anyways, so I don't have to worry about it. And this is just to hold tension on those wires. Basically what we're going to be doing is fusing these all together, and every now and then we're going to have to just take our nylon pliers here and just give it a little crimp so it stays where it has to stay. You want that center wire, that bare wire in the middle, and you need it to stay there. So that's the name of the game with this one here. All right, let us begin this process.
One eternity later.
So here we have it, the final product after probably close to half an hour of wrestling with that wire. Oh, that was a painful, brutal process there, but it's a pretty decent strand. I have at least enough for a single coil, so I think we're going to just do a single coil today. But with that, I just wanted to show you guys how I do it. If there's a better way out there, then please feel free to comment in the box below. But let's go ahead and get wrapping on this coil here. So first thing we're going to do is grab our bit, which is over here. We've got our 3mm bit that we're going to be using today, and we're just going to build a pretty standard, let's do 4 wraps. I think 4 wraps is going to be plenty, because this is definitely going to be a low resistance coil. I can tell you that already. And that way we'll have enough probably for another coil maybe to use on something else in the future. But these coils are pretty, let me tell you. I just like the look of it. I don't often work with, you know, this type of wire, the staggered wire, so it's good to get back into it, and I'm glad I'm kind of pushing the envelope of my skill level and what I think I'm capable of. So yeah, it's a good feeling to be back, you guys. I know you guys love it so much. We're just gonna leave the ends a little bit longer and just give it a quick little snip. Boop, just like that. And there we have it. There is our single tri-core stagger something. I don't even know what you would exactly call this. It's a variation of a staggered tri-core coil, but let's just go ahead. I'll snip this one while I'm at it because it's got the junk end on it. Boo! Watch out! Holy crap, that just flew all the way across my office. So today we're going to be using this Recurve RDA, the Mike Vapes Recurve RDA. And I think it will be just big enough to support this coil. Yeah, I think we got it. So let me just loosen up these screws here, just like that. Boom, boom. Ooh, actually, I think that's the right length too. Ooh, I like that length. When I pull up on this coil and it stays right in between that airflow, I'm keeping it just like that. No need to mess around. I would be a very happy camper. Oh, yes. Oh, that's perfect. I'll show you guys in just a second, but yes. Yes, yes. Boom. Right in between the airflow there. Nice and centered on top. Now, real quick, before I hit the ohm reader, if you guys have any guesses of what the resistance is, put them down in the comments box below because I would love to hear your thoughts. I'm going to guess it's right around 0.12 for a single coil. All right, let's go for it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ooh, it's at 0.13 currently, but you know as well as I do, it is definitely not over yet. On a side note, you guys, please make sure you are washing your wire. Make sure you wash your wire. If you don't, you're going to have all sorts of oils, whether it be from your hands or from your tools, all on your coils, and that's just gross, so no one wants that. Let's just go ahead and tune this bad boy up. We've got some nice color going on already. Ooh, it's up to 0.15. Ooh, down to 0.13. Oh, it's kind of jumping around. Where is it going to end up, you guys? 0.21. Ooh, it's heating up pretty quickly, though. I was actually kind of surprised. I fully expected this thing to take forever to ramp up. Just lightly brush across. All right, let's see if I can get a good glow shot here. 0.21. It's glowing pretty darn good. I'm liking where that's at right now. And I think we're going to call it there. So if you guessed 0.21, you are correct. But wow, I was way off on that one. I thought it was going to be a lot lower. There you go, 0.21. Let's go ahead and let this coil cool off a little bit and then we'll wick it. All right, so it is wicked and dripped and squonked and ready to vape. So let's just go ahead and press the fire button and see some vapor production. Wow, you know what? For a 0.21 ohm coil on a mechanical mod, that is not bad, I gotta say. This thing is absolutely chucking right now, so I am excited to see how this one vapes. So let's just go ahead and go back to the main screen, have a quick vape on this thing, and we'll talk about this build some more. All right, guys, so let's talk about this tri-core staggered fuse Clapton that we just built here. And I gotta say, this one is definitely on the difficult side. I would say this is a moderate to high difficulty level. You gotta really, really be good at staggering. Honestly, with the weight method, it's a lot easier than the method that I showed last week. I gotta say, big shout out to you guys in the comment section for giving me that little tidbit there. I had tried that before, but I just kept finding that it would bind up or something would just catch on the spool. But after a week of trying over and over again, I was finally able to just tune my skills, and now I'm able to do it no problem. So thank you guys so much for all of the support and the encouragement there in the comment section. All of your tips and tricks are very, very helpful, and feel free to leave some right down there in the comments of this video here. But with that, as far as the ramp up and ramp down time, the ramp up is surprisingly quick. It's a single coil, which is really good for a single battery mech mod like this SQ here. It is very easy for this coil to get fired up, and once it gets going, it's a little bit difficult to stop because the ramp down time is about 5 or 6 seconds, which is on the longer side. I have a feeling it has to do with the triple 27 cores. I feel like that's a lot of wire all in one space, and it's combined with the outer wraps as well. So that being said, the ramp up time very quick, and the ramp down time a little bit on the slower side. As far as the vapor production is concerned, this thing absolutely rips once it gets going. I gotta say that I was really surprised by the amount of vapor production that I'm getting out of this thing. Do not sleep on this one if you want a cloud chuck and build out of a single coil. Let's just go ahead and show you what I'm talking about here with some clouds. Woo! This stuff definitely has a kick of menthol to it. This is some hype drive. Get it? There's a little inside joke there. This is a juice I picked up in the UK. Big shout out to these guys. This juice is fantastic. I gotta say, the flavor on this coil is definitely a step up than last week. I feel like it's like 1.5 times the flavor of the coil that we did last week. So with that, it's still just a tad under an alien. You're just missing that, like, those little nooks and crannies in between the S-curves. I feel like just for some reason that makes a difference. Just call me crazy. Leave your comments if you think I'm nuts right down there in the box below. But in any case, that about wraps it up for this video, guys. I really hope you enjoyed this one. Make sure if you want to suggest a build, then sign up for my Patreon. Link is right down there in the description. But yeah, that about does it for this one, guys. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe for more videos just like this. Leave your comments in the box below and check out the links right down there in the description. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and as always, vape on!